What's up, guys? It's time for us to talk about something very serious. It's been around for a long time, but it's starting to get out of hand. It's loot boxes. That's right, the thing that seems to follow you everywhere you go in every game that you play. But is it truly bad, or are people overreacting? Let's discuss. So, let's start with the recent game like Forza 7. Usually, the game gets great reviews for being such a fantastic driving sim. With this installment, however, the reviewers are bashing the game, stating how Turn 10 turned it into a microtransaction poop show. Sure, the loot boxes don't give you any real advantage, but that's not the point. Remember when you could just adjust the race settings to play the game the way you wanted? Well, now that's locked behind a feature called mods that are now unlocked via those same loot boxes. To be fair, the race mods were in the prior installment. However, this time around, the mods are like a 1 to 5 time use consumable item. You want extra credits? Well, open up a loot box and hope you get a race mod that changes the style of the game so you can get extra credit bonus so you can spend it again to open up another loot box to get more mods. usgamer.net said it the best. Folks race to gain credits, to buy price crates, to get consumable mods, to gain credits, to buy other vehicles, to raise their tier, to eventually buy the vehicles they want. Because the only way to increase your tier is to own a certain number of vehicles. You also have driver customizations with so many different styles. The problem is, you never see the driver except in the main menu. They took away all the fun stuff and applied microtransactions around it. And before I forget, they also mentioned that once the game economy is balanced, they plan to let users spend real money on those loot boxes. I guess it's like they say, you have to spend money to make money. In Forza's case, you need to spend money to actually enjoy playing the game, if you don't mind grinding for credits otherwise. I should note that some users on the forums do claim that after a few hours of playing, they did rack up enough credits to spend it on race crates, buy a few cars, and still have enough left over for later. Since it is at the beginning of the game, we'll have to wait and see if the progression slows down as they get further into the gameplay. The next game up is Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it hasn't even been released yet. During the beta, players noticed that the game was heavily paid to win, being that you can get loot crates to get star cards and items. Star cards are basically boosts for your character and hero, such as making the skill recharge speed increase, additional health for each kill, or weapon overheat reduction for Han Solo or somebody else. After the beta concluded, EA released a statement on their blog stating that they will only allow the strongest items in the game to be unlocked via achievements only. The loot crates will also include outfits, emotes, and victory poses. If you get a duplicate star card, well, you can scrap it, turn it into parts, and use it to upgrade one of your existing cards to make their effects much better. They also mentioned that you need to earn the ability to upgrade the star cards by reaching a high enough rank in the game. I forgot where I saw it before, but somebody had shown that in order to unlock the upgrades, you needed to own a certain amount of star cards to increase your level. Hopefully, this isn't what EA was talking about. Even though they are addressing some of the concerns people complain about, they didn't actually fix the problem. The game will still be 100% pay to win, but we'll have to see how it actually turns out when the game releases. With cards that give a 40% damage reduction or damage immunity for a set amount of time, the player shelling out cash will definitely have an edge on the battlefield. Not good, EA, not good at all. Now, let's move on to Shadow of War. Most people agree that you can complete the game within 16 to 20 hours or so. The problem is, if you want to see the true ending, you need beefy orcs. How do you get beefy orcs? I'm glad you asked. You just need to grind for about 40 to 50 hours recruiting and strengthening your orcs. Or you can buy a chest and get better orcs or experience in order to make the whole entire experience a bit more tolerable, right? That right there lies a problem that most people don't like. Time is valuable to most people, and not everyone is going to devote 50 plus hours to the game. In order to speed things up, some people are going to purchase those loot boxes, and because of the random nature of them, you most likely won't get the stuff that you want. That in turn makes you want to spend more money until you get the item or orc that you need. This is where people believe that loot boxes should be considered gambling because it makes you want to spend and spend until you get that nice, juicy prize. How many times have you opened up a loot box, got nothing, and thought, when I open up the next one, I'll get something good? Sometimes it happens and you stop until you need something else. Or they give you something in the middle that gives you enough pleasure not to quit, but instead continue opening loot boxes because you're so close to getting that amazing reward. This is something that Forza, Shadow of War, and many free-to-play mobile games share in common. All of that on top of the full $60 that you just spent on the game and any additional DLC that you may plan to buy in the future. Developers are now bringing the monetization of free-to-play mobile games to full-price console and PC games. That's super dangerous as the cost of games now are usually around $120, that being $60 for the game and another $60 for the season pass, which is already ridiculous. Now add on an extra layer of loot boxes and you won't be surprised to see people spending another extra $200 to $300. Why? Because loot boxes are addictive. This is why people are saying that loot boxes should be considered gambling and that it should be regulated or forced to change. Some players have been fed up enough that they created a petition and got enough signatures for the UK government to actually investigate and come up with a response. While they don't consider it gambling, they do agree that it bears a similar resemblance to gaming machines where you make a payment for the chance to win a prize at random. To add on to this, the ESRB also agrees that it doesn't consider loot boxes as gambling because you always get some sort of reward in the end. It may not be what you want, but at least you got something. The ESRB used trading cards as an example. You purchase trading cards with the hope that you get that limited edition ultimate foil rare card, only to be saddened that you got 3 crappy cards that you already have. In this sense, if people did consider loot boxes as gambling, well, then trading cards would fall under the same category too, right? And I don't know about you, but I knew a lot of people growing up that spent tons and tons of money buying Magic the Gathering, baseball, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all trying to get those really rare cards. I guess they're considered gambling addicts if you change loot boxes to be considered gambling. Anyways, we can go much further and deeper on this subject as there are vast amounts of examples out there. However, we want to leave this as an open discussion because this is something that needs to be addressed, whether it's through government regulations or the industry changing how they design games. So let us know what you think in the comments. We're curious about what you think. Anyways, until next time, I'm Dennis, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.